I'd like to go over a few of the details I want you to know about the Ethos, Pathos, and Logos PowerPoint. So this video would probably be best served to watch before you look at the PowerPoint. I just want to point out a few things, and then of course after you watch this video, view the PowerPoint. Um, the basic shape of the rhetorical triangle, if you think about it, the structure of a triangle, it's pretty stable as a shape. It's not going to be something easy to knock over. And it's because it has, of course, three sides connected together that give something stability. Now, in an argument, if we have all three of these things present, it adds to the stability, hopefully, of our argument. Ethos, pathos, and logos all work together to make our argument more stable, just like this triangle shape would be more stable than just a line that would be easy to knock over. So just to go over kind of what these terms mean, ethos, of course, read this slide, but basically when you say ethos, you mean the trust, and it's the trust of the speaker or of the author. Now you need to establish ethos. You need to establish why the person, why the audience should trust what you're saying about this topic. I'd say as soon as possible. I think if you're trying to create trust in the conclusion, you've waited way too long to try to establish that relationship. I mean, if you have a reader get to the end of your essay and they realize, oh, okay, now I see I can really trust what this person said, they're not going to reread the essay. They're not going to do extra work. So you've really lost the opportunity to hook their trust early on. So I suggest establishing your ethos in the bridge. I think that the bridge is a great place in the essay to kind of briefly give your background in the topic. Tell me why you chose to write about this topic. If you could choose to write about anything, what's your background in it? We'll also see a couple examples here of how you can establish ethos. So this slide kind of goes over a few quick suggestions. This isn't everything you can do to establish ethos, but these are definitely things you can, tools you can use in your introduction. Some of them in your introduction, some of them like grammar throughout your document. But you'll have an activity where you'll get to kind of brainstorm some areas in life that you have strong ethos. So I'll be interested to see kind of what your strengths are. There's an interesting story of author James Fry who published it. Well, he published it as a memoir, like as an autobiography. And Oprah really embraced this book when it came out, and she said it was wonderful. She brought the author on her show and interviewed him, just talking about what a wonderful book it was, and how amazing his story is. And she put her seal of approval, the Oprah Book Club seal on the book. Well, soon after this interview, it came to light that Fry had actually fabricated most of the details in his quote-unquote memoir. It really was more of a work of fiction than a work of nonfiction. And Oprah was very, very upset because Fry's ethos really suffered in the public eye, and because his ethos suffered, Oprah's ethos suffered as well because she had attached her name to the book. She had put her book club seal on this book, and so really this is an example of where two individuals had their ethos damaged. And the next clip, actually, I give a link to a video. It's very interesting. It's Oprah bringing Fry back on her show and kind of grilling him about his his deceit. So check that out if you want to see an uncomfortable, pretty awesome interview. Recently we've had another situation with of course, the bicycling world. Um, Lance Armstrong has, of course, seen the effects of your ethos failing in the public's eyes, and you've probably heard stories of how libraries have pulled Armstrong's biographies and autobiographies from the shelf and reshelved them from the nonfiction into the fiction department. So, ethos is something that is real. People do want to trust what people say, and if people don't trust you, you can say the sky is blue, and they'll go look out of a window just to make sure you're telling the truth. Pathos is going to be where instead of targeting trust, we're targeting two things. You can target either the heart of the audience or the imagination of the audience. So read through this slide, and one thing I really want to pick up on here is one thing you can do to easily kind of create pathos is watch your word choice. We have something called connotative language, and connotative language are just going to be words that have emotional meaning. Some may be positive, some may be negative. Here I give the example of kill and slaughter. Both basically definition mean the same thing, however one has a more connotative meaning, and that would be slaughter. It's more negative connotation. It paints a more vivid picture. So here's some examples of pathos. I'm going to be interested to see what kind of pathos you're able to create. This PSA is it's pretty recent, and it's pretty well, it's definitely graphic, but it's pretty effective too to many people. Um, if you try to argue using logic that texting and driving is a bad idea, that may not be as effective as just targeting the audience's imagination or their heartstrings with the way that this video does. So check out this video. Keep in mind that pathos is very effective, but if you use it too much, if you use just emotional appeals or appeals to the imagination and that's it, most audiences, you may come across as you're whining. That's one risk. Most audiences are going to be like, well, where's the proof? You need more proof than just emotional or imaginary interaction. And so that's where logos comes in. Logos, one thing it comes is, one thing it does, one job it serves, is it's our proof. This can be statistics, surveys, personal examples, facts, things like that. That's an important job that it does, but a second job that logos can do, which is very important as well, and don't forget that logos has two jobs. First is basically proof of an argument, logic of an argument. It targets the mind. But also, logos connects two things. It connects the audience and the problem. Many times we'll talk about apathy later on in the semester. And many times we're apathetic about things going on in the world because we don't see how the thing relates to our life. We're busy people. And if something really doesn't impact our life directly, or if we don't see why it matters to us or to those we care about, we may just kind of dismiss it. So logos is a way that the author can connect the problem that the author is writing to the audience the author is addressing. And if you can prove to your audience that they are connected to the problem through logos, your audience will pay much more attention to what you're saying and be less dismissive. So here I give you, I want you to just take this made-up thing. I've made this up. This is just for practice. But if you were worried about the high school dropout rate in Tennessee increasing, it's a problem you see, and you want to try to get your problem to be seen by other people. But these other people you're trying to validate this problem to, they may not be in high school, they may not have any kids in high school, but you still want them to be impacted by this problem so they take it seriously. So I think you could kind of think of other ways you can make this a problem to audiences. Oh, this is just to kind of show that this shows my age partially, but if you think about the different aspects of the rhetorical triangle by themselves, they're fine. Ethos is great to have by itself, pathos great by itself, logos great by itself, but when they combine together, they form really a mighty presence in an argument. And all of a sudden, these things that are fine by themselves, they really join together for something really formidable. So just keep in mind that you want to have all three of these aspects, not just two, definitely not just one. You want to have all three in your argument. And we'll continue to work on these three things in our actual essays as we go. So hopefully this video helps clarify the PowerPoint a little bit. Thank you.